Hey, welcome to the Ringer Gambling Show. Cousin Sal here, my good pal Joe House, my other good pal Anthony Dabbundo, Tony Tokens. We have a great hour for you ahead. We're gonna, oh my God, you know what? We're gonna pick NFL games because there's only a few left, and then there's fewer and fewer and fewer, House, and then I don't know what the hell we're gonna do. But we'll make it work, right?
Yeah, golf has arrived. TGL, the simulator golf, I watched that last night. That was hot and heavy. We saw some Will Ferrell action. And then the NBA right here, logo. Stuff's happening. We're almost to the trade deadline.
You're right. We'll probably talk NBA. There's one more college football game. We're going to pick it. House may not even pick it. He's going to sit back on his laurels. And then what else? We have best bets for the day. Anthony Dabbundo, you have big news you want to break right before. Actually, he might take off on us, House, right in the middle of this podcast regarding this news. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I got a text this morning from Angelina Jolie herself, offering me a job in the Amazon Human Resources Department. So I guess the question is, should I leave the Ringer and join the Amazon HR department, or should I hang around for at least one more podcast? Because it's clear that the gambling part of this has not gone well for us this last couple
I know.
weeks.
Oh, so you're going to let me finish this 107 disgusting run. House and Simmons facing the same demise there. All right, I think you have to go. By the way, amateur move. If Angelina wants to keep this secret between you and her, and now you made this public, you might have screwed up here.
Well, that's really the heart of the matter, because we did try and put him in contact with Nicole Kidman's people. So he could spend some time, and here he's got a direct. We don't even have to do this heavy. We don't have to call any celebrities. We don't have to use talent managers or agents. Mr. Dabbundo, he's got her number right in front of him, and there's a date. The only condition in which I'll come to Amazon is that you have coffee with me, Angelina. It's sitting right there for you, and you just ruined it.
Should I be concerned? There are 18 other numbers in this chat, so maybe that this group chat that we're all in, this could be my competition. I'm not sure that my resume is polished.
Oh, so it's not really her going out to just you. Well, this kind of changes things. I'm trying to think of what your celebrity couple name would be. I don't know. Anja Tokens? I'm not sure.
It already fits perfectly.
The Ringer Gambling Show is presented by FanDuel. FanDuel's got it all. Same game parlays, quick bets for jumping in live and your way so you could build the best bet that fits your play. Plus, don't miss out on the NFL playoffs all month long. Download the FanDuel app or head to FanDuel.com/gamblers to get started. You have to be 21 or older and present in select states, or 18 or older and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. All right, listen, I mean, if that isn't a hump day headline big enough for you to digest, we got more for you. Mike Tomlin steps down as head coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Nobody saw this coming. Nobody talked about it. We didn't know. We didn't know his job was in jeopardy. We didn't know he wanted to leave. How did we do? House, just out of nowhere. My goodness.
Fire Tomlin. I mean, how many weeks ago was it? Within the last month. Fire Tomlin.
I made it about even odds when I talked to Simmons about immediately after they lost to the Texans. But it makes sense that he's gone. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a 2-round draft. We probably could make it like 6 or 7 rounds or 8 or 9, where he ends up in 2026. Dabbundo, you did a draft randomizer because we couldn't just say, hey, House, you go first or I go first. So is it House, in fact, who has the first pick?
House did get the first pick.
Okay, House. A lot of options out there.
I have a pick in mind, but I want to just express some regret before we get started here. That we did not reach out to FanDuel and ask them to write us a prop for which coach in the AFC North would survive the end of this season.
I was thinking
How
about
did we
this
miss
morning.
this?
The worst coach of all.
The worst coach of all. Well, because he's with the cheapest team. Owners that really shouldn't own an NFL team because they can't afford it because they're grifters. But look, we're moving onward. We're moving forward. We have Coach Tomlin. We have to put him into a job. AD, if you're a good person, you'll send him this Amazon Human Resources link as another option. That could be part of the draft. I'm saying Fox. I feel like he's a Fox guy. He and Gronk going into the end zone and he can fake throw a ball and Gronk can fake catch it. They can do some platitudes. Isn't Jimmy Johnson not on that show anymore?
He is not, I don't believe, but it is still crowded. So you think were you going to say he replaces Jimmy Johnson, or they just bring the camera back a little bit and widen the lens so that they could fit 13 people now instead of 12?
It makes no difference, but that would be my pick is Fox.
That's pretty good. That's pretty solid. I think that could definitely happen, especially since there's whispers that he's not grabbing a head coaching job. But that's not very fun for the purposes of this exercise. Who goes second, Dabbundo? Me?
You got the second pick, yeah.
All right, I have to stick with this because it was one of my 2026 hot takes, along with Simmons eating pizza before February 9th, that Tomlin ends up with the Falcons. I think it's a perfect spot for him. That NFC South is so winnable every single year, and winnable at 8-9 or 9-8 are all the numbers that Tomlin hovers around and gets crucified for every year. Doesn't really have his quarterback there, probably, but he hasn't also in the last 7 or 8 years. So what does it matter? So that's my pick. Dabbundo, you get 2 here. We'll give you 2. Snake draft.
All right, so my first pick is the Miami Dolphins, also because I predicted that before the season with Sheil, and I said that he would be coaching the Dolphins next year. But think about it. You've just spent 19 years in Pittsburgh, one of the cloudiest, dreariest cities in America, a city which I love, but is objectively cloudy and dreary. And now you have a chance to go down and be a culture builder and live in South Beach for a couple of years. There are no expectations for him in Miami. If he goes there, I'm sure Billy Gill would love to see him down there. So that's, I think, a perfect fit if you're looking to kind of reboot without fully throwing yourself back into the quote-unquote pressure cooker right away. And I think that's the perfect fit for him.
All right. Not winning a division anytime soon, probably, in those, with the surging Patriots and the Josh Allen not going away, probably. But okay, I get thaw out a little bit. All right, you get a second pick?
Second pick, season 3 of The Pit, Pittsburgh Medical Trauma Center.
Wow. There you go.
You know a guy, right? You got an in. We can get him on the show. He doesn't have to leave Pittsburgh. He can go to save lives after raising the heart pressure and blood pressure of every Pittsburgh native for the last 19 years. Now he can go fix things.
Not bad. Okay. That could happen. Look, there's no wrong answers here, except for maybe that one. But I'm going to say, what will I say? He could be a Jet secret consultant. See, the thing is, we could probably name the 7 jobs available. You mentioned one of them, the Bengals, next year, right? Jets, also one of them. Don't know if he wants to go there for the same reasons
Eagles.
I poo-pooed. Tony Token's pick there with the Dolphins.
Great call.
Raiders.
Washington.
Wants this,
Washington? Put Washington?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about your boys. Yeah, you're going to be looking for a coach next year. I'm going to say Secretary of Homeland Security. I think that is going to be open anytime now. And it's a nice little change of pace, right? That's not the Washington you were thinking of, though, House.
It is not. So we know that he's a tremendous motivational speaker, and he produces results. When Mike Tomlin speaks, that's how he gets winning seasons out of rosters that we cannot make any sense out of when we sit in August every single year. How can Pittsburgh possibly do it again? How can Tomlin do it again? He goes inside a room and yells at those men or speaks quietly to them. I don't know. Soft touch, hard touch, bad cop, good cop. I don't know what he does. But as a leader of men and a motivational speaker, he is unparalleled. So I like the direction you're going, cuz this notion of something having to do with the government, I think this is going to sound unoriginal because you just gave him a government job, but I think he's going to be our next leader for the Department of War.
Department of War. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Wow. Interesting.
War. What is it good for?
Cabinet positions open. Okay, so this was a fun draft. 6 picks, and I think only like 1 or 2 had anything to do with football. That's how we do it, guys. Anything's up for grabs. Hey,
why does he want to have anything to do with football? Let him catch his breath.
Yeah, no kidding. Enough. He seems like he's had enough. He had a year with Aaron Rodgers. All right, here's another thing. Giannis Antetokounmpo booed fans back as the Bucks were crushed at home last night by Minnesota. The T-Wolves came to town, kicked them in all their groins, 139-106. Giannis So they were booed at halftime. They were down a bunch, like 36 points or something. And then Giannis scores the first basket of the third quarter and gets fouled and then starts booing the crowd back. He's done this before. He did the double thumbs down. And then after the game, he says, when people don't believe in me, I tend to be against them. I've never been a part of something like that, and I don't think it's fair. I've been here 13 years. I'm basically the all-time leader in everything. And let me just say this, House. My wife is from Milwaukee, and the winters are not fun. And I don't blame Giannis. And I don't blame the fans because you have to stay warm, and that's the only way to do it, by booing people. People passing each other on the street, booing each other just to survive, not to suffer hypothermia. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I agree with the idea that you need to be active and vocal. You need to be stamping your feet. And if anger feels a little bit hotter than applause. So I understand the motivation, but boy, oh boy. Let's do a draft on next week's show for where Giannis ends up next and how quickly it happens.
Dabbundo, could Giannis be the Steelers' next head coach? I would say 65-1. I would put that up.
Could
there.
Mike Tomlin run point for the Bucks? That one might be a little tougher. But no, I think we've all seen this coming for how long now? I mean, how long has Giannis been in like mock trades and he's talked about how he doesn't want to leave? I feel like last summer, there was the report that, the Shams report, not really a report, that he was going to go and seek options and consider his future, which, okay. But now it feels like he's actually acting out on it, which tends to make me think that this is going to happen before the trade deadline.
Okay, there you go. All right. One guy who is going to stay put, Bryce Young. Panthers used their fifth-year option to sign Bryce Young. Valiant effort in the wild card round game at home against the Rams. They came up just short, lost by 3. Is there going to be a 6th year for Bryce Young and the Panthers? Joe House, the yes is -180, the no is +140.
Damn it. It's expensive. I don't like to lay that kind of juice, but I do think the answer is yes.
You do?
I think the reason for the extension is it boils down to the way he played against the Rams. He had great games against the Rams. If only they could play that defense, week in and week out. But when you look at the way the Panthers performed over the course of this season, where they covered the spread every single game after they lost a game, and all 8 of their wins this season came after they lost a previous week, I think that really tells us a story about the relationship between Canales, the head coach, who is a offensive whiz kid, and Bryce Young. And the fact that we saw that offense in spurts, in moments, on occasion, and they're loaded because Coker and Tet, that's a pretty good wide receiver combo, and the running back combo is pretty gosh darn good as well with Chuba and Rico. I think it makes sense. I would continue to build on what they have going there as well.
Interesting. Okay, because I was going to say, and I don't know what their over-under number is for win totals, Dabbundo, next year. What would it be? 7.5? You can't make it more than 7.5. 7.5?
Barring anything drastic.
I haven't looked at their schedule, but it also wouldn't surprise me if they went 5-12 next year. Would it surprise you?
I mean, they were an 8-win team that got kind of lucky to get to 8 wins. The problem I have with Bryce Young is that he is better. And it's very easy to look at the trajectory and say, yes, he was unplayable the first year, and then he was unplayable to start the second year, got benched, came back, was serviceable, and this year I would say he was serviceable again. But after 3 years, you're sitting there and you're like, okay, the trajectory is good, but what is the trajectory leading to? Because there's been 46 quarterbacks in the last 2 years that have taken at least 300 snaps. He's 34th in efficiency, right behind Jameis Winston, Kirk Cousins, behind Tyler Shuck, behind Michael Penix, behind Geno Smith. So you're looking around behind Bo Nix. So he's not better than a lot of his cohort and a lot of his older veteran cohort that we kind of are thinking are done. So where's the growth? I don't see the growth. So will he? I'll say yes. Should he? I'll say no.
There's so much crap because, House, they're stuck in that 1 p.m. slot for, I don't know, they have 17 games, 16 of them? They're in that 1 o'clock
with Chris Myers calling the game.
Chris Myers does their games, but in a way he shines versus a lot of those quarterbacks in that slot. I'll tell you this, way too much time spent on the Panthers, by the way. But next year they have the AFC North and the NFC North, plus Denver, Seattle, and at Philly. Tokens, I know it has to be 7.5.
6.5. I'm downgrading it.
6.5.
Downgrading it 6.5. Yeah.
Now let's get to the teams that have survived these playoffs so far. This will be the first time in 54 years we have 2 road favorites in the divisional round. That means nothing to me. We can't pick the games anyway, Dabbundo. So I don't care. You could throw any stat at me. Buffalo leads things off at Denver Saturday afternoon, 1.5, 46.5. I think this could go to 2, Dabbundo. I don't know about the sharp money coming in on Denver. If they stay underdogs, it'll be just the 4th time in the last 40 years a team off a bye in divisional round is listed as a favorite. Most notably for me, the Panthers plus 3.5 versus Dallas. They won the game. In fact, all the home teams won the games in those situations. What are you thinking about this line?
I think it's eerily similar to the Cincinnati versus Tennessee game from 3 years ago. If you remember back, Tennessee got the 1 seed, rode a really good defense, well-coached team, got just enough in some big close wins out of Ryan Tannehill to kind of sustain their offense. They got a lot of explosive plays, and they had a good running game. And Buffalo comes in as a flawed team with a pretty inconsistent defense and a great quarterback where you're looking around and wondering if you trust anything else on the roster. And that's where I think the Bengals were then, and I think where the Bills are now. I don't think it was a great performance by Buffalo against the Jaguars. Like the Jaguars got a lot what they wanted on the ground. They missed a big field goal. They got stopped on the goal line on that 4th down on the Lawrence run scramble. So I still have the same problems with Buffalo. Also, now their safety situation is dire in the back end with Poyer going out. So I don't love how this is trending for the Bills. However, it's going to be very hard to get me to actually bet on Denver because I feel the same way I did last week. It's like at the end of the day in the 4th quarter, I'm going to trust Josh Allen considerably more than Bo Nix.
Yeah, House, did you take Buffalo last week? Did you guys have Buffalo or did you have Jacksonville? All right, so you had Jacksonville. So is this the same spot?
Sal convinced me on that one, and then I convinced him on Pittsburgh, and we all
we just can't. But the point is, I'm not going to sour grape this. The better quarterback won, but to everything Token said, Little misses a kick. He doesn't miss any kicks. That 4th and 1 with Lawrence was huge. You go up 14-3. There's huge momentum there. I'm not saying the Bills are out of it. I don't know if it was the wrong pick, but do we just bounce back with it again? Being at Denver is definitely a better home field situation and maybe slightly better team overall. You don't have to make a pick here. But,
go ahead, Anthony.
It would be very funny for me to pick Buffalo to make the Super Bowl, and then for us, Sal, to pick against Buffalo every round
week
of the playoffs.
Let's just keep doing it. Yeah,
it's fine.
That's where we're heading now. Like if I take Denver, it's like, well, we had Jacksonville, then we had Denver, and I have a Rams-Bills Super Bowl ticket that I think I might win. So,
jeez,
here we are.
I promise this is not sour grapes, but our handicap and analysis going into the Jacksonville-Buffalo game was spot on. It was sound. The one piece of that matchup that we probably didn't capture enough was Liam Cohen as a rookie head coach in his first playoff game. Because, I'm not going to say that Sean McDermott outcoached him, but it was a wash. And it shouldn't have been a wash.
Right.
We should have seen another dozen runs from the Jacksonville backfield that was absolutely dominant and couldn't be stopped. There was mismanagement out of Jacksonville in the second half. They're good. I mean, that lady that went into the press conference and told Coach, you keep your head up, Coach. She is not wrong. That's a good football team.
I don't ever want to see her again. She's ruining journalism. That was disgusting. I've never seen journalism take a hit like that. Awful.
How is she not a Hump Day headline? God bless her. We need to have her on a show.
I'm so proud to say that I did not weigh in on that. A younger version of me would have weighed in on that, and I'm no longer weighing in on that. That is a sign of my maturity.
You're busy with Angelina Jolie, for Christ's sakes.
No kidding. Yeah, you're right. Everyone understands your reluctance to join in, Dabbundo. But yeah, everyone's reaction to most things these days should be, just STFU. Right? There's enough.
That's right.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
it sounds like we're torn.
I'm playing Denver. I'm playing them on the money line.
Giving us a pick here.
I'm grabbing the points. Yeah, I'm not afraid. Here's the thing. Type into your Google machine or whatever search engine you like, Buffalo Bills injury report. Because I did that. And here's what comes up. 2 Bills edge rushers join Josh Allen and 11 others on first divisional round injury report. So
Right.
I don't like it. I don't like all it. Shavers is out with a torn ACL. Poyer re-aggravated the hamstring. You can go down the list. I mean,
Right.
Josh Allen, that was an amazing performance. I don't know if we've given him enough credit for how incredible he survived.
The Bills, Josh Allen. Bill that one.
What did I say?
No, it's all right.
Yeah.
You just
There's
have
Josh
the-
Hines Allen.
The Jags have the Josh Allen too. Yeah.
Josh Hines Allen.
I meant the Bills, Josh
Yeah.
Allen.
Okay.
Yes,
All
for
right.
sure.
People
the
got
one
confused.
with the superstar movie actress wife. That one.
Right.
That Josh Allen. He survived things that mere mortals couldn't possibly survive. I'm on Denver here just because I think the Sean McDermott element of this will raise its head. It raised its head in that. I mean, the Buffalo scoring and giving the Jags over a minute at the end of that game when they could have squeezed the life out of it. That's Sean McDermott, and I'll take the other Sean at home with the Denver Broncos.
The thing about the Bills injury report isn't this always the Bills injury report? Like, wow, I'm shocked that Terrell Bernard's on the injury report and Ed Oliver, Matt Milano, the most injured player in the NFL the last 5 years. He's on the injury report. Russo limited. I think all these guys play. The one thing I'm a little concerned about is, so you mentioned Poyer. Poyer goes out. DeMar Hamlin, full participant in practice. I think he starts.
No kidding. Wow.
I think he starts on Saturday because they don't have anybody else. Taylor Rapp's out for the year. They need somebody to fill that role, and they don't have anybody else. So they bring back potentially Hamlin this week. I don't know if. Yeah, I don't love that if
I'm against it.
I don't love that if I'm Buffalo. Like, Denver should be able to hit some big plays here. But also, we saw this game last year in the playoffs, and it didn't go very well for Denver's defense.
So I think the decision, Dabbundo, we're going to have to make is, and let's not make it now, is, hey, well, we're on the right track with the +1.5, the -1.5, with the lesser quarterback, but probably the better overall team. Do we stick with that? Or do we go along with the best quarterback every way? Let's go rest of the way, every game.
I mean, I'm cooked
that's
either
what I have
way,
to do.
because if we switch and lose, I will feel way worse. Like,
You have your Super Bowl thing last game.
and then if we
with
pick
the
the
Bills.
Denver and lose, then I'm going to feel even worse because I keep picking against the team I picked
Just
to win
stick with the
AFC.
Bills.
We're going to lose. We're going to lose.
It's fine.
Can we
all
pass? Pass.
The night game, Seattle 7-point favorite, 44.5 is the total. San Francisco comes to town. I think it's going to be tough to get off the 7, right? It was 7.5 for a minute. But I could see some late 49ers money coming in. Seattle on 14 days rest. They didn't have to do this, the league. Seattle part, they had to. They were on 14 days rest. The Niners are on 6 days rest. The Rams and the Bears are playing Sunday when they both easily could play Saturday, which is when they played last week. According to the NFL, teams that have a big rest advantage heading into a playoff matchup won their games outright 7 in a row. But over the last 5 years, the 49ers are 13-6 on short rest. So what do we read into this house, or do we not read into it at all?
Yeah, I don't think that I'm going to try and use rest as part of the handicap for this one. We watched this game 2 weeks ago. Seattle's defense absolutely choked the life out of San Francisco. Everybody was trying. Everybody was available. It was a San Francisco very best effort. The thing that I am cautious about is that Kyle Shanahan had the best coaching performance of any head coach in the wild card round. That was an absolutely masterclass that he put on in terms of creativity, exploiting angles against that Philadelphia team that was just dying to end the season. I'm so mad at myself for not anticipating that a little bit more. Knew not to play the line in any way, shape, or form, right?
Right.
But didn't have the balls to pick San Francisco because you just couldn't, with all of the injuries, especially to their linebacker core. How can Philadelphia not get the ball into the middle of the mother effing football field?
They tried on the last play.
That's
Last
true.
play, they threw it over the middle.
They called the
3 guys
timeout
were
and
standing
everything.
there, though.
I mean, seriously,
confident.
where is Jalen? Is Jalen Hurts a top 20 quarterback in the NFL?
No, I can't do it
The
now.
roll right and throw it out of bounds is his best play. That's Patullo. That's got to be number 3 on the call sheet, right? Roll right.
215-592-9494 WIP Radio Philadelphia. Joe House on the line from DC.
There's pressure 14 yards away. Time to get out of the pocket and throw the ball out of bounds.
It was bad.
is
I mean,
disgusting.
16% was the pressure rate for San Francisco. It's one of the lowest of any team in the NFL all season.
Right.
Time to scramble, baby! And God forbid he tries to scramble upfield and kind of run backwards 7 yards anyway.
What was Hench saying, House? And we're not Aaron Rodgers fans, but Rodgers averaged 4.9 against the best defense. This is yards per pass attempt.
Yes.
Guess the best defense. And Hurts averaged exactly the same against the third string
Costco
49ers
employees.
defense.
Yeah.
That's exactly
What a
right.
disaster.
You need to send that Amazon text to all of the San Francisco defense. Anyway, that would be the only thing that would scare me. So I'm playing Seattle in a bunch of money line combinations.
Yeah. I like that too, and of course I'm going to have this with Indiana on a money line parlay, and you guys are going to have to bail me out. You're going to have to bail me out. I don't know what's going to happen. But as far as you don't have to make a big deal out of the 14 days versus the 6 days. But if we see a rusty Sam Darnold, I'm not going to be too excited about that if I have money on Seattle, right? And we might.
This is why I don't. Why would you lay the 7? Like it's Darnold. You don't have to lay the 7.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just so comfortable for him. Like this is the same problem we just talked about. Like if they get a 16% pressure rate on Seattle this week, he is going to just carve them up.
Yeah.
Like pretty comfortably. And I don't know what that looks like. I mean, we saw in the last meeting, they ran the ball a ton once they had the lead. They went very safe. And I think McDonald knows that the best chance they have of losing this game is giving Sam Darnold ample opportunity to throw the ball down the field. So if he says, all right, we're going to try to limit that as best as possible. We'll take our deep shots, our play actions, but we're going to just risk control. So I bet the under. I mean, it was 46.5. It's down to 44.5. I still think 44.5 is probably a small bet for me still, but I think that's the best way to play this.
I'm
like
getting
this.
some more down right now.
Yeah.
Under. Keep
Look
playing
at you.
unders.
Look at him go.
Every day of the
That's
week.
it.
Under.
24,
Yeah,
16, 15.
Great. Right?
Weather
Doesn't that
can't
make
be
sense?
great Saturday night. All right, so let's move to Sunday. New England, Houston. This is interesting because they wouldn't call this. They had the Saturday slate set. They had the Sunday slate set, except for the times on Sunday. They were waiting for Aaron Rodgers. If he was going to rear his ugly head another week, they were going to make that the night game. But no, they chose to make Rams Chicago the night game, and now New England, Houston. That's going to be Nance and Romo. Patriots 3-point favorite, 41.5 is the total. Another key number. Does it move Dabbundo off of 3?
I don't think so. It's bounced. It's similar, very similar to last week, where the 2.5 was the opener. Houston got hit immediately. Or excuse me, New England got hit immediately, went right through 3, and then it came back to 3 at the end, midweek. So we were 2.5, then 3.5, sits 3. I think it sits 3 for the rest of the week. I don't expect a ton of movement.
House, the trends are kind of favoring the Pats here, at least the ones I found. There's a favorite of 3 or more, maybe is 11-0 and 9-2 against the spread. He's won 10 of those by almost 17 points a game. And in the divisional round of the playoffs, the Texans are 0-6 in franchise history, and Stroud himself is 0-2. Damn it, this team's winning the Super Bowl, aren't they? What are we going to do, House? What the hell?
Which team?
The bad one we hate with our friend.
I know which one you're talking about. Well, and speaking of trends, if you're looking for reasons to bet Houston, they did just completely buck their outdoor trend. Now, it's not like C.J. Stroud himself took his bad outdoor performance trend and bundled it up and put it in the garbage. It might still be right around his neck. It might be tied to an anchor that he's dragging into Foxborough. But I'm going to just lose again, and Simmons can go ahead and pick the Patriots. It's totally fine. I'm not going to get in his way. I will try once again my very best to tell him not to parlay the goddamn thing with any total. I told him just pick the Patriots. You like the Patriots?
That was
pick
the loss.
Them. It's a loss. Of course, it's a loss. They had 30 points between those two teams. This is another Houston under 41.5. It's staring us. The only
I can't believe I didn't bet it last week. What an idiot I am.
It's unbelievable.
Idiot.
Come on. The only way it goes over is defensive touchdowns or short field because of turnovers. But
we got those on Monday, and it still went under. There was, 2 short field turnovers, 2 defensive touchdowns, and it still only got to 36.
I kind of agree. This might not get out of the 20s.
I mean, Collins there's no way Collins can play too, right?
Oh, no.
Doesn't seem like it.
Look,
I mean, you get carted off with a concussion, then
no.
you should be automatically out.
You got to walk to the blue tent, walk to the locker room. Otherwise,
no chance.
They have
Gonzalez probably doesn't play either.
I'm playing the Texans on the money line. I'm just saying.
Look at you.
I personally am playing it that way.
Are you allowed to say that?
Why can't I?
Man. Well, because you didn't get a text from Angelina Jolie. Do you have other job offers there that I don't know about?
I better work on it.
Right.
My main problem
kicked off the thing a few weeks ago, so he let me back.
Well, Simmons, hold on 1 second to bundle. But Simmons, he may take the Patriots and be all over. But when we guessed the line, he said 1.5, and then I said no, it's 3 or 3.5, whatever it was at the time. He's like, that's too high. So now he's going to go bet it. But anyway, that's life as a prognosticator. Go ahead, Dabbundo.
Well, my main issue is that these two teams, the Texans and Chargers, just played New England back-to-back weeks. Chargers were 3.5, Texans are 3. But the Texans also played the Chargers 2 weeks ago, and the Texans were favored in LA. So the market's kind of saying these teams are even, Texans, Chargers, and that wasn't the case 2 weeks ago. So what's really changed? Are we all of a sudden all in on New England?
Because it wasn't as important a game, that Houston Chargers game, right?
True. Everybody played.
Yeah. Yeah, it's for the 6. They screwed it up. Whatever they did, they screwed up the seeding. The Chargers did. So anyway, all right. Last game Sunday night. Collinsworth, Tirico, Rams 3.5-point favorite. 48.5 is the number at Chicago. This was 4. Am I going crazy? It was 4.5, right? 4.5 in there, Dabbundo.
It came down, as did the total.
Right.
The weather. This is a weather game.
It's an interesting thing.
It's still at 48.5.
Yeah, it was 51.5 when it opened.
You're not supposed to bet Bears unders. You just get punched in the face when you do it.
15 degrees with like heavy wind.
What do we
Sunday
think
night.
of weather games? Because I feel like 90% of them, either the weather report ends up being false or it just doesn't matter at all. And
just doesn't matter.
What we heard about, like, Stafford going to Carolina and it was going to be like unseasonably cold. It was going to be 45 degrees. And I don't know. I didn't see it. I didn't see much snow in that. There was like 6 flurries in the Bears-Packers game. Doesn't happen or it doesn't matter. I think, well, we'll get to picks in a second. I think Stafford, let's do it right now. I'm going over 2.5 touchdown passes. I won with Puka last week. I gave on this show 2+ was 7-1. By Sunday, it was 6-1. But Stafford to get 3 or more. He had 3 last week. He has 3 or more in his last 4. He puts up nice numbers against good teams. 3 versus Seattle, 3 and 4 against the Niners, 5 against the Jags. These are all playoff teams. I mentioned how he put up a tray against Carolina last week. And this isn't the 85 Bears. They have major holes in the middle of that secondary, especially. Jordan Love had 4 touchdowns last week. Purdy had 3 in that Sunday night game. I think Love had 3 a couple of weeks before that. So it's not just the quarterback that heats up late for Chicago. It's a defense too. So I know it's supposed to be snow and cold, but plus 152, Dabbundo, for the MVP of the league. Yeah, I said it, to do what he does over and over again. Sign me up 3 times. What are you going with?
Yeah, I'm going to keep waiting for this because I think the total might go down a little further, and I'm going to hop on the over. This is similar to Green Bay, Chicago for me. I don't really know how either defense gets a lot of stops in this game. The Rams' offense against Chicago's defense is probably the biggest statistical mismatch in this playoffs remaining. Maybe Niners defense would be down there, but the Chicago inability to get pressure. I mean, we saw this. Love was kept clean most of that game, and he was just pitch and catch. And it was only until the second half when they started to get a little bit out of whack with their play calling that offense really started to struggle. And of course, they should have scored 34 points if the kicker didn't screw up repeatedly. But here's the thing that scares me about the Rams. I pulled this up. Since 2021, the 2 worst special teams lost EPA. Packers, minus 110. Lost EPA in the last 4 years. The Rams are the worst, minus 153. It's not even close how much they've lost from special teams. Yeah, you just know it's going to happen. I don't know when. I don't know who. I don't know where. But it's gonna cost them at some point, and I have a terrible feeling that it's gonna happen in this game.
Okay, but listen, tell us as it's getting late in the hour about Jake Tonjes.
Yeah, I like Tonjes over as my favorite prop of the weekend. Over 35.5 receiving yards. They don't play Kittle and Tonjes together ever, but when Kittle gets hurt, Tonjes basically becomes a slightly poor man's Kittle. The last 3 games he's fully played without Kittle in the game. He's eclipsed 55 yards. He scored a touchdown in 2 of them. His target share goes through the roof. And it's clear that Purdy and him have a good connection. This goes all the way back to October. So I think Tonjes over 35.5, maybe throw a little to score in there. I think he's a good bet this weekend.
All right, there you go. And by the way, Tony Tokens won with Kittle under 59.5 receiving yards and was doing a lap and like, I told you. I was like, all right, dude, the guy's done for a year. Don't be such a dick. What are you doing? House, what are you doing for a prop here? We're going to have 1,000 props between Saturday and Sunday in the Ringer pregame show. Check that out. But this is just to whet your appetite a little bit. House, what do you
and this is awesome. I last week on this show gave out Kieran Williams over 65.5 rushing yards against the Panthers, and then on our show on Saturday switched to Blake Corum 44.5. Corum went over, Williams did not.
Right.
So you got to pay attention and go if you want to
played the rope-a-dope.
Well,
That's a rope-a-dope, House.
It's set up pretty nicely. It's set up for both of them to hit their overs, and we talked through the analysis on the Ringer pregame show, which will be on both Saturday and Sunday this week, featuring all three of us. I like Drake May's rushing yards. I thought that was an outstanding performance. That really changed the game. They beat the Chargers because Drake May got on his horse and started moving. That 37-yard run was the difference in the game, in my humble opinion. And honestly, having watched that Texans defense, they just rushed the 4. They don't blitz. And Aaron Rodgers had 10 yards in front of him 50 times in that game on Monday night and just refused to take it because he knew he was going to get demolished about 1.5 yards down the field. Drake May, fleet of foot, a youth, not afraid to take those big hits, and also maybe can outrun a couple of those guys over 35.5. It's been a feature of the New England offense, and I really think that is one way for New England to separate itself.
I don't hate that at all. You can knock that out in one run, like you said. I mean, it seems ridiculous, but that's the new total right there. Definitely, certainly in 3 runs, for sure. All right, listen, those are our props. Like I said, we'll have more on Saturday and Sunday, but right now, let's take a break. We're going to have to do this. We have our college football picks. We have our best bets of the day. We're going to hit some NBA on the Ringer Gambling Show. Don't go anywhere because we're not going anywhere. All right, we just had a very uncomfortable moment here on the Ringer Gambling Show during commercial. Dabbundo loses again. I'm sorry. Yeah,
just keep taking L's. It's honestly been impressive.
He's got his Amazon HR link.
That's true.
What the problem is.
That's true. He's not gonna have to put up with us. No. I will say this, Dabbundo.
I got uninvited from the post-show call during the mid-show off-air discussion. It's crazy.
It's not a post-show call.
It's not. Come on. I'll calling it a post-call show. Show call. You did though introduce me to this Burt's Bees. It's a lip balm, and but you said back in college you guys would get high by putting it on your eyelids, right?
Correct.
I'm gonna do it right now.
Getting high?
It's more of like a.
What'd you say?
It's more of like a high is a stretch, but you get a high from it, like a tingling sensation above your eyelids, which I'm now gonna do as well.
What is wrong with you guys?
Yeah, you don't wake up in a gutter in the Bowery. It's not like that kind of thing.
No,
you're still you're
still
able to
don't
function
understand
and stuff
it.
like that. I kind of like it.
You just gotta try it, man. One of these days.
I'm not trying it.
I'm pushing it on everyone in the house, and they're driving me crazy. I'm like a lunatic. I'll walk down the stairs with this, and I'll say to my 12-year-old, "Hey, you want some?" He's like, "Yeah." He puts it on his lips, and I start screaming. I'm like, "What are you doing? That shouldn't be for your lips."
But you have a son in college. He's what, a junior? You said?
Yeah, junior. He should.
So
start
he's probably heard of it. Maybe the the new kids, they're not doing it anymore. Maybe it's out.
Not.
But
I am going to advise people do not. But it's it's fine. You didn't tell me to do this. It's upper eyelid outside, not lower eyelid. Lower eyelid leads to tears, immense bawling all day long. Really bad. The vapors or whatever get into your eyes. Not good. So don't do that.
The immense bawling, I get that from Ringer 107, so I don't need that from my eyelids as well.
That's a whole other side
not getting
effect.
invited to calls.
And not getting invited to the post-show call.
Just don't put anything with menthol in it around your goddamn eyes. What about that idea? That would be my recommendation.
Is there menthol in this?
I don't know. Whatever the tingly thing is.
It's peppermint. Vitamin E and peppermint.
Much better.
Too paternalistic for us there, House, but I appreciate it. Let's do
House,
this.
Your son is going to descend into a life of beezing one day, and you're going to be very disappointed.
He's already involved in far worse, believe me.
Listen, he could have Miami here plus 8.5. No, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a crushing like Oregon got. My best bet last week, 12 plus 310. Jesus, that was not good. But the line is 8.5. The Hoosiers it's in Miami. There's no way around that. 47.5 is the total. House, you're sitting pretty because you had IU a few weeks ago at plus 310, and then you're like, you know what, I'm going to hedge a little bit with Miami. And you're like, why am I going to make a pick? I am so far ahead of the curve here.
Don't hedge.
What's the point?
Don't hedge.
I
already did.
In advance of the semifinal games,
okay.
I took
Right.
there were the odds for teams to win the national championship, and Miami was sitting there at plus 340. I think they had the worst odds of anybody to win the national championship at that point. So sitting with the plus 310 ticket on Indiana, Miami was easy. I thought Miami was going to handle Ole Miss. That was a superb game. I could not have enjoyed it anymore watching it.
I could have.
These college football playoffs. Well, look, I know we have our bets, but
Yeah, I got you.
Plus 3.5. Tokens at plus 3.5 for Ole Miss. That's a baddish beat.
Well, the thing is, I'm sitting there. I also had under 52.5, which I bet smaller. So it's 25-24 Ole Miss after they score
again. Yep.
And I'm thinking, do not get the 2. They don't get the 2. It's 25-24. Miami comes down, kicks the field goal, wins the game by 2, and it stays under. But once Ole Miss got the 2 to go up 3, I knew I was cooked. I said they're going to come down, they're going to get a touchdown, they're going to go over, they're going to cover the spread, and sure enough, it happened. And, defensive pass interference was no longer called on the final play for some unknown reason, and here we are.
It just sucks, though. Ole Miss was snapping the ball with 30 on the play clock. There's 3.5 left. I'm like, come on. I feel like if Lane Kiffin, I know they had coaches went out during halftime, had to go off to LSU or whatever, whoever was left calling the plays and the time management there. But that was disgusting. But here you go. Here you are again, Dabbundo. You're taking the under in this game.
Yes, I am. And I think really as good as Indiana's offense looked against Oregon, as good as Indiana's really looked in this entire tournament, prepared and dominating and able to control these games, I don't think they've faced a defensive line quite like Miami's, and I think that could lead to a lower scoring game. And I think they'll be able to slow down Indiana's ability to run the ball. And I think that'll be the main kind of driver of this game, not quite being as high scoring. And still, I don't think, as much as Miami's been impressive last week against a bad Ole Miss defense, the 2 games prior to that, I think, is much more similar to what this ends up being. I could see this being close to like a Miami-Ohio State game. Ohio State was disappointing ultimately, but I like the Hoosiers. I think they'll get it done, but I like the under more. I'm
with you. I took that on the teaser. I know you're not a big teaser fan, but I took minus 2.5 and under 53.5, something like that. So I think that it's right in there, 27-20. So I don't want to worry about the spread. I'm going to give you a prop here. Roman Hemby, running back for IU, recruit out of Maryland. And before transferring to IU, he had 27 touchdowns in 11 years. No, only 3.5 years. But he added another 7 touchdowns this season. He had that one when they crushed Alabama. Gets a bunch of carries, 35 over the last 2 games. 3-star recruit. They have a bunch of those. That's all we hear about with Indiana. But he's going to get me 6 points on Monday. By the way, guys, did you guys know, like when I had Michael Irvin on in August, I said, hey, thanks for coming on my show. I'm going to give you a free bet. These guys never win the free bets. What do you want? Anything, college, pro football. He's like, the U, 25-1. So I have to give him $2,500, House, if Miami wins on Monday night. And I'm going to, I think, have him on tomorrow. I think we booked him. Do you think he hedges? I'm going to give him the opportunity to hedge. You think he has any idea what that means?
No, sir. You beat me to the joke. Not only is he not going to do it, he won't understand what he's saying no to.
Right, that's true. I can lay it out for him as well as I can. And I wonder what he's going to do with that money. It's so crazy. It really, there's so many Roth IRAs now that you could.
That's right. They're very conservative. The bond market is very attractive right now. The pricing in the spread in the 30-year Treasury is amazing.
I hope he comes on or forget.
We should change this into a stock pick show because the gambling picks are not going well.
Anything would help.
Here's why I'm buying NVIDIA today.
Look, maybe we'll hit on NBA. We're going to talk the association in a couple minutes when we return. Then we'll have our best bets. We got some other stuff to talk about on the Ringer Gambling Show. It's me. It's Anthony Dabbundo. It's Joe House. We're here. Come back in 2 minutes. The Ringer Gambling Show is brought to you by FanDuel. The divisional round is where the NFL's best take center stage. And with everything on the line, FanDuel is turning on playoff mode because all customers get a profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day waiting for you in the app. More boosts means more ways to level up your playoff bets. FanDuel makes it fast, easy, and fun to get in on the playoff action. And when your bet wins, you'll get paid instantly. So visit FanDuel.com/gamblers and grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. You must be 21 or older and present in select states, or 18 or older and present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in is required. Bonus issued as a non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. All right, we're back. The Ringer Gambling Show. Cousin Sal, Joe House, Anthony Dabbundo. Let's talk NBA action. House, the Thunder. They finally did it. They beat the Spurs 119-98. They had lost 3 in a row to San Antonio. SGA 24. Jalen Williams with 20. An important win. No Hartenstein or Dort, too, so that's kind of big. Has the curse been lifted? They do this again in 3 weeks, one more time.
Well, it is fun for the league to have, a nascent up-and-comer in the form of the Spurs trying to flip the script on the Thunder. Everybody was ready, including some people on this show. I mean, Bill Simmons was absolutely, will the Thunder win 80 games this season? Will they win
all the games?
How many games can they win? And God bless the Spurs for giving us something else to talk about. The Thunder put the smackdown last night, and the impressive thing was indeed the defense. 11 blocks and 7 steals, and they hold the Spurs to 40% shooting. And they went on and said, this was not our Super Bowl, the Thunder, afterwards. But it was on Tuesday night. It was the big NBA game on NBC, which these games have been magnificent. I've been so happy to turn on NBC on Tuesday night and get the round ball rock. And, it channels all the good vibes. You got it, cuz. So good job by Oklahoma City. Their crowd was up to it, which was very fun. That added to the overall ambiance of it. But look, man, they're going to do this again in 3 weeks. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it would almost tip the other way. We're like, right, Thunder are going to win not only 80 games, whatever, but they're going to win 5 years in a row here. Now it's nice that we know the Spurs could hang in a series, but it was almost going the other way. Like, oh my God, could OKC win a game in a 7-game series? Like, okay, all right, things are back to normal. Not for me though. Lakers. I had the Hawks yesterday. -1 at LA in Tinseltown. 141 to 116. The Lakers win. I thought Atlanta, new look team. Thanks to Houses, the team in the trade, they won 3 in a row. The line balloons from 1 to 4. I figure, all right, LeBron's out. It's the back end of a back-to-back. They have 5 games in 7 days. He's sitting. I'm good. Nope, I'm not good. I'm very, very bad. 31, 9, and 10. Listen, I know in like 3 weeks it's all we're going to have, but betting NBA night to night is so difficult, Dabbundo.
I've actually I agree. And that's why I've been trying to contemplate just how many sports I can pack into the window between, like, I think I might have to become an Olympic gambling expert in the next 3 weeks because I can't do it, Sal. It's so hard. There's too much like night to night. You got to stalk injury reports, and I don't know, House. How do you do it?
Yeah, House, this is a Ringer Gambling Show. I don't want to poo-poo all we have left soon, but it is prison food.
How do I do it? I don't do it. I mean, you have to look at you have to make sure that you have a block of time at 6:30 Eastern every single night of the week that you intend to bet the NBA, so you can check the injury report and go.
Is that AM or PM?
PM, and they'll go on the local blogs. It's 15 minutes before the game starts, so you can figure out who's playing, and you need the local blogs to also tell you and confirm the information that they're putting into the injury report. Then you can bet sides and totals in the NBA.
Sounds like a great time, honestly.
Player props are pretty
think
good.
About it. Curling is coming up. Ken Palm has a curling model that I used to profitably bet the last Winter Olympics.
We had the whole Olympics to bet on.
We got the World Baseball Classic.
if
got
we
March
talk
Madness.
about how we're betting the Texans and we're not betting NBA, we're definitely going to be jobless before February. So we have to. Come on, Dabbundo, play ball.
I'm playing ball.
Listen, there's a winner for you tonight. The Sixers are favored at home over the Cavs -1. You don't like this one?
I don't mind it. I might bet it just because I want to bet my favorite team. But how about this? Joel Embiid has already played more games than he did last year. I feel like it's not getting discussed enough on the Ringer Podcast Network.
Giving him a standing O. I had a double bet on Joel Embiid at +130 points and rebounds. They are putting him in games and letting him play the minutes in the games that he plays. The problem with betting the rebounds prop is he only got to 8 rebounds. He didn't hit the double-double because he's standing out at the free throw line.
Yeah.
He's super effective there, though. He could really help a team in contention. I was trying to come up with trades for Embiid, but he just makes too much money.
So we need
the contract stuff is tough.
Longer rebounds for him.
You mentioned it, House, though. Like, the gravity of Embiid still exists on the offensive end. And it's huge. I mean, Derek Bodner just posted this article at PHLY, and Maxey shoots 10% better from 3 with Embiid on the court. Edgecombe shoots 5% better from 3 with Embiid on the court. Grimes shoots 5% better with Embiid on the court. McCain is 4.5% better. Oubre is 20% better. It's a bit of an outlier. He hasn't played that much. So every Sixer shooter is benefiting from Embiid being out there. And if you had told me before the season, yes, it's going to be January 14th, and the Sixers are going to be favored against the pretty close to full-strength Cavs, I would have probably laughed at you. So the fact that we're at this point, I'm getting a little excited.
Look at Dabbundo, so excited. That's what
I'm
we
bought
want
back
in this
in,
podcast.
just like that. NBA.
That's Sixers, Cavs, Clippers, Wizards. I'm going to tease this. House is making this his play of the day. We're going to have all 3 of our plays of the day. When we come back, it's a Ringer gambling show. We are going to be back in 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Okay, we're back. Ringer Gambling Show. One thing left to do. Best bets. Joe House, the world is waiting. What's your best bet of the day on Clippers Wizards?
Wizards on the road out in Los Angeles. Woo! They don't have a point guard, and the Clippers have been winning by margin against bad teams. The important thing for the Clippers is that both Kawhi Leonard and Zubac look like they're playing, so that's why the line's 12.5. Washington not afraid to lose by margin. They got smoked by Phoenix, and they have a little bit of LA-itis. I wonder. They played Sunday. They've been in LA for a few days. Those tend to be games where Clippers and Lakers take advantage. -12.5 for the Clippers.
I love it. Tony Tokens, you and I have college basketball picks. What do you got?
Kentucky -4. Another team without a point guard is LSU, and the 3 games they played without him, I still think the market is not adjusted to just how bad they are without Thomas running the show. 40% assist rate, one of the best assist rates in the country. Without him, they have nobody else who can create shots for others. It's a problem. They can't score. Give me the Cats, -4.
All right, I'm taking Northwestern at home, +8.5. They're 0-5 in Big Ten play. Illinois is much better, but Welsh Ryan Arena could get wild. Nick Martinelli, 24 a game for the Cats. They blow games late. I don't really care. I'm getting a ton of points. Let's say 87-81. That's going to do it for another episode of the Ringer Gambling Show. Hey, check us out on Saturday and Sunday and Friday. Dabbundo will be back. Tony Tokens, we're going to go over 107 picks with the hype man, Danny Heifetz. That's it. We'll see you next week. Must be 21 or older and present in select states, or 18 or older and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. You must be 21 or older and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 or older and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG, 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 877-8-HOPE-NEW YORK or text HOPE New York in New York.